Sheikh Fatuma, welcome. Okay. Yep. Good morning, Daniel Oshoma, Kennedy Festus, Eric Osadalo, Daniel Asenga, Adiola Ogunlesi, Kate Imwedeme, Gladys Nwosu, Benny Gift, Ngoya Sharis, Oluwatoyin Bideme, Immaculate Shayson, Purity Life, Daniel Atsenga, Jigem Eric, been quite a while, Jerry Otashe, quite a while too, Gladys Unshang, Miranda Ogwafu, Lolo Amaka, Prophet M. Keke, Adeola Disu, Zaki Icon, John Lucky, Jolomi White, Fumi Lani Pekon, Esther Kuganja, Deborah Nuhu, Adetunji Ade, John Wilson, Rochelle White, Taiwa Boaba, Shigon Wafo. Good morning. Good morning, all of you, and welcome. So as you are coming, let's quickly go in and share the link to this program. Let's quickly go in and share the link to this program, please. Destiny Omo. Yep. Let's go and share the link, the share button. The share button is somewhere there. Let's go press it. Let's go press the share button. And then we'll be ready to go. Let's go find the share button. It's under your video somewhere there. Let's press it. Let's go share the link as fast as possible so that we could begin. So many things to talk about today. So much truth. So much blessing that we are going to receive today. It's getting to be very interesting. Now, today and tomorrow, I want to talk to the ladies about what the men would like to tell you. I want to tell you the mind of the men today. And it is because women don't know what men are thinking sometimes. That is why they they often have a lot of quarrel and conflict. But today I want to share with you the thought of men, what every husband or what every man wants to tell his wife or his future wife. So today's topic is what every man wants to tell his wife. And this will help the ladies and the women to get prepared for marriage. And if you're already married, it will really help you to be able to understand your husband better, to be able to, plan your family better and be able to have better relationship at home. But today I'm not going to be talking to you ladies as with ladies, okay? I'm going to be talking to you not as Pastor Sunday. This is not my thought, but these are the thoughts of men. So I'm going to be telling you some pretty painful, direct and painful stuff, okay? I'm going to be telling you some things that might not be, maybe they will not be painful, but for me, I think they will be painful for the ladies to hear. But as painful as they are, I think it's better for you to know them than not to know them. I think it is probably a dream for every lady to know these things that I want to talk about than for them to be divorcing. And because of the fact that these things are not known, that is why there are a lot of divorce out there. But with this knowledge, there will be, it's supposed to be a bit, things are supposed to be different, especially if the ladies will take this serious. So before I go ahead, I want to get the permission from the ladies. Because, like I said, these are not my thoughts. These are not my thoughts because I have worked on myself to relate to women differently, to respect women, to honor them, and to, you know, I have understanding about women that ordinary men don't have. And about ordinary men are after their own interest. So before I go ahead, I need the permission of every lady in the house so that when the truth is coming across, it will not be as if this is too harsh, Pastor. So what are the women saying? Should I go ahead and talk about this topic? What every man wishes his wife knows or wants to tell his wife? Should I start? So everybody is saying, go ahead, Pastor. Fire on. Permission granted. Okay. Well, what are the things every man, like I said, that is not, every man doesn't include me personally, but probably there was a time that I also taught some of these thoughts before I upgraded myself. But every man wants to say this to his wife, especially if you are modern wife. If you are not, especially the men who are not living in Saudi Arabia or, you know, where the women don't have any rights at all and where women are totally oppressed. If you are that kind of man, maybe you don't want to say this because you already have everything you want. But if you are living in a free society where your wife also has some rights and where every man and woman is equal, every man is dreaming of these things that I want to tell you now. Number one, the number one cry of every man in the family, either he's married already or he's not yet married or he's planning to marry, is this. Every man is dreaming and wants to tell his wife this, wants to tell, not just want to tell the wife, wants to scream in the ears of his wife. The first thing is this: listen, wife, you are not my leader, you are my helper. Okay? That is the first thing every man wants to tell his wife. Listen, wife, you are not my leader, you are my helper. Some of them actually say this, and maybe they say it in different ways or in different forms. Maybe they say it much more politely or they say it much more harshly, but one way or the other, every man wishes his wife knows this. Every man wants his wife to be aware of this. And that is just it. Woman or wife, please listen. You... Okay, Gladys is saying, that is right, sir. I heard that many, many times, Pastor. Okay, so women have come across that statement before. So women are writing here that, yes, we've heard that many, many times. And that is true. That is not just a word from the men. That is not just a statement from them. That statement is their cry, is their heart cry. It's not just their heart cry, they are screaming to let the woman hear that. They really want the woman to hear them. They don't just want the woman to hear it in their ears, they want the woman to understand that. Please, you are not my leader. Please, you are not my director. You are not my leader. You are my helper. You are just my wife. You are not my leader. Please. So, the reason why men think like this, and the reason why men want their wives to understand it, is because men don't expect their wives to be their critics. Men don't want their wives to be their critics. They want their wives to be their advisor, but not their critic. And I will explain to you, it's not just because men are selfish, it's not just because men are egocentric, it's not as easy as that. This is more than the question of the ego of the men. It's not because of the ego only, but it's also because of the way the men are built. So men don't want their wives to be reading lectures to them, or to be teaching them how they are supposed to live or what they are supposed to do. Not just because they don't want to learn, or they don't want to receive from her, or they don't love her. It's much more complex than that. Okay, let me try to explain to you why men are rather negative about their wives teaching them, and why they are not willing and they are not ready to see their wives as their leader, their director, or their pastor at home. They don't want their wives to come across to them as their leader or their critic. They don't want their wife, they don't want to live in their own house, and then somebody living with them in their own house telling them what to do or how to do it. Every man wants to be the boss of his own house. Even if he cannot be the boss anywhere else, he wants to be the boss in his own house. Even if he cannot be the boss anywhere else, he wants to be the boss over his own family. Even if he cannot be the boss anywhere over anybody else, he wants to be the boss over his own wife, over his own children, over his own family. So, this especially applies to the men who are not great achievers out there. And to those who are great achievers also, but especially to those who themselves are under somebody out there. The men that are already submitted to their directors, to their bosses, to their managers, or to their chiefs, or to their leaders, when they come home, they don't want to come home again and submit. They want to come home and see that somebody is listening to them. They want to come home. They don't want to be, the nature of man is not for a man to be submitted everywhere, to be saying yes sir, yes sir, yes sir everywhere. It's not the nature of man to be a follower or a servant everywhere. So, but at work, he doesn't have any option. He has to receive instructions. At work, he has to, because he's been paid for it, so he has to be submitted. He has to listen. So when a man is already listening everywhere, when a man is already following everywhere, when a man is already receiving instructions all throughout his life and at work throughout the whole day, he doesn't want to now come back to his own very house, the house that to him was created or funded by him. He doesn't want to come to that same house, and now what he's seeing there is that he again has to listen here, and somebody has to teach him in this house what he is supposed to do and how he's supposed to do it. Even when the lady is right, even when the lady is right, even when the lady is correct in her instructions or in her injunctions, the man does not want those injunctions or instructions to come across as instructions to him. The man doesn't want those instructions to come across to him as if he is being taught. The man doesn't want those things to come across to him as if he's being told what to do. The man doesn't want to be told what to do in his own house. So at best, even if he's very lovely and he's a very open man, he wants the lady to communicate those same things to him more like a suggestion, more as a suggestion rather than as an instruction. The man wants to listen to the wife saying something like, whatever, John or Isaac, whatever your name is, or honey. What about if you look at it this way? You know what I think? You know what? I'm just thinking about it. Maybe these are just my thoughts. You consider, you look at it anyhow you want to look at it, or you think about it. Maybe it might be helpful. Maybe I should just tell you my thought about it. I'm not trying to, just come from afar. So you are giving him instructions, but you are telling him as if you don't have anything to do with it. As if you are just speaking out loud. So let him know that you are just talking out loud and you are not trying to, tell him what to do, or you are just saying, maybe you should look at it this way. Maybe this way will work. Or maybe you tell him something like, I had this experience before. Somebody said this, the other. I remember, this happened somewhere there, or I read this in a book somewhere, or maybe maybe it could help in this situation. So if it comes across to him as if it's something that is totally coming from somewhere else, totally different, not from you, then he might be much more open to consider it, rather than if you are letting him know that, this is what you are supposed to do. I know. If you want to tell him that I know what to do, I know the answer, do this, and tell him that as an instruction, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. So in that case, if you do that a few times, a man will come back to you and say, he might not say it quite like that, but with his reaction and with his response or body language, he will let you know that, hey, woman, I thought you are, who is the boss here? Who is the leader here? I thought you are my wife, you are my helper, so what's happening here? You are not my boss, please. Okay, know your place now. I feel that kind of reaction is kind of rough, personally, for me. For me, that is not the way I would have liked to react. I don't react like that anymore, thank God. I don't like to react like that, because I think a man shouldn't react like that. A man should still honor his wife no matter what she's doing or what. But just for you ladies to know, 99% of the men would react just like that. 99%, not just 90%, not 95%, 99% of men will react like that. So they don't want to be taught in their own house. Even the same thing that you are trying to tell them might be told to them by another person. In fact, that same wife, this same wife that is trying to tell his own husband this thing, and the husband is not receiving it, that same woman could say the same thing, but to another person's husband, but not to her own husband. So even though for a woman, this is unreal, this is crazy, because the woman doesn't want to tell another husband, another man, her wisdom. The woman doesn't want to help another man better than her own husband, her own man. A woman wants to help her own husband. A woman wants to tell her own husband the truth. A woman wants to feel like, you are my husband, you should understand me better. I want to help you. I want our family to be successful. I want our family to get it. I want our family to, to know the truth. Let's work together. Let's talk together. Let me tell you what to do. I know it. I can help you. You are my husband. I will help you. Let's do it like this. Do it like this. Do it like this. But that is, even though you meant well, even though you intend to, for the better and for the best for your family, but that man is not looking at it that way. He's looking at it from the side of himself being from the ego side. He's looking at it from the side of being, forced to listen to his wife. And that's what he doesn't want to do. But if that same wife would say that to the friend, who is also a man, but has another wife, that friend will even thank you for it. That other man will even be grateful for that advice. So if another woman who is your girlfriend, for example, let's say you have family friends, if the wife of another man who is close to him will tell your own husband, he will be more ready to receive it from another woman than he will be ready to receive it from his own wife. So that is the nature of men. and because, he understands that his own wife kind of is supposed to be under him and be submitted to him. But the other woman is looking at her as if we are just friends. So let her say whatever she wants to say. It's my right to take it or not. But if that same thing is coming from his own wife, he is thinking under his, in his subconscious, even though she's not telling him that you have to take it, you have to do it. But he's thinking if she's my wife saying it. So in his own mind, the husband is thinking, if it's my wife saying this, she's expecting me to do it now. So I have a kind of moral obligation to her. If she's going to tell me this, she might ask tomorrow, why didn't you do what I told you to do? But you promised to do it. Or, why didn't I do it? So she might be thinking, he might be thinking, okay, if she tells me now, I will be under obligation to perform it. But if it's another woman who says it, or another man who says it from somewhere, the person who doesn't have the right to come to me the next day and say, why didn't you do what I told you? But I told you this the other day, you didn't perform it. No, he doesn't feel any obligation to the other woman. He doesn't feel any obligation to the other person who suggested that to him. He's looking at whatever the other person said just as suggestion. But he's looking at what his wife said more as an obligation, more as something he has to do. Or even if he doesn't do it, he's got to give explanation why I've not done it, or why I will not do it, or why I don't agree. So he's kind of psychologically under stress automatically. He's automatically under as if he's been pinned to the wall. And a man doesn't want to be pinned to the wall in his own house. And of course, the woman will be saying, I told you so, but I told you that before. Why did you do that? But a man does not want to be told and to be reminded by the wife that, but I said it, but I told you so. You didn't listen to me. So he begins to think that is a kind of manipulative action or effort. So he will begin to say, she's trying to manipulate me, or she's trying to, So these are the kind of things. The very first thing in the heart and the mind of every man is that every man wants to tell his own wife is that, princess or whatever, honey or whatever you call each other, please. Okay, if you want to say something, say it, but I want you to know right now that I'm not obliged to do whatever you are telling me. Or, okay, I'm listening to you. I will listen to you, but let me do my own thing. So a man doesn't want to kind of feel obliged to listen and do everything the wife is telling him to do. Now, that is on one hand. That is one of the reasons why a man does not want to see the wife as a director, as a boss, or as a leader. So a man is screaming with all his responses and action to the woman that, hey girl, look, please, you are not my leader. I thought you are just my wife. I thought you are my wife. I thought you are just my helper. You are just my assistant. You are just my helper, right? You are just my wife. So why do you think I have to listen to you? You know, you are my helper, but you are not my leader. You are not my leader. That is one thing that a man wants his wife to know. Now, what is the other reason? Let me help you ladies to know and understand why men are like that. Why are men like that? Another reason why men are like that is that men are looking at their homes, or as if that the way men, it all depends on the way men look at family. The way a man sees or looks at his own family is this: a man is thinking in his mind that I go to work where I go and fight. I go to work where I go to struggle. I go to work where that's it. To a man, job or work is a battlefield for him. So he's going to his job and going to work as a place where he goes to fight, as a battlefield, as a place where he's a stranger. Even if he's the boss of his family, of his job, even if he's the leader, even if he's the director or the owner of that company, he still comes back home. He sees home differently. So the way a man is seeing the house is this: he's seeing the house as a place where he comes to only to relax. That is the mindset. That is the consciousness, subconscious mind of the man. A man is seeing his home, his family, as a place where he comes to just to switch off, just to totally switch off. You know, a man just wants to switch himself off. And so that is why women don't understand why is it that men don't want to help at home. All right? And women are always complaining, especially here in Europe. European women, I don't know if African women do the same, but European women always complain, why is it that the man is not helping in the home or in the home front? Why is it that the husbands are not helping at home? So have you ever, I'm sure you are all familiar with these complaints. Why is it that the man is not helping at home? You know, and the women are always complaining and angry, and which is justifiable as well, because you know, especially if the woman herself is working, especially if she too has to go to work, and she definitely needs the help at home as well. So so a woman wants some help. He wants the husband to help him, to deal with some of the situation at home. And I personally believe that a man, the duties must be agreed on and must be separated. So I believe that a man must have his own function or duties that he's doing at home. Now, I also have another belief. If you are a man and you don't want to do anything at home, if you are a man, you don't want to work at home, you don't want to help, iron the clothes or wash the clothes or wash the plates or clean the house or make order. If you don't want to help, and because most men don't want to, that is not the thing that most men want to do. Most men are not enthusiastic about washing plates. Let me tell you that one right now. And most men are even not enthusiastic about removing the dirt and the garbage. Most men are not enthusiastic about anything at all. And it's not because they cannot do it. It's not because they are wicked as well. It's not because they don't love you. It's not because they don't care. It's just because they are seeing home differently. So my own answer to that is, if you are a man and you are a proper man and you don't want to see yourself coming home to begin to be tossed around, go and remove the plate, go and clean the plate, go and wash the clothes, go and mow the grass, go and do that, go and do this. If you don't want to be told those things, then make enough money. Make enough money, guy. If you are a man and you say you don't want to be running about to do all those things at home, hey, make enough money where you are coming from. If you are walking outside and that's the place you think your own domain is and your terrain is, where you are going to use your energy, okay, make enough money, my friend. Make enough money to have a maid at home, or make enough money to have somebody come to your house to clean the house and manage the house, or make enough money to have a gardener, or make enough money to at least have a gardener come once a week, or make enough money to have somebody come to cook or to take care of the needs of the house. Make enough money. In my own home, for example, that's what I've done. Because I don't see myself as coming. In the beginning, I used to iron the clothes, and in the first maybe 3 years or 4 years, I used to just do that to help iron the clothes, wash the plates, and all those things. And but later on, I could afford it. So because I could afford it, I got one maid at first, then two maids, then a driver, then, as many as possible. Right now, I have a whole kitchen. I have a whole, I have a house where right now we have maybe, if I don't have anybody in my house, at least 20 people are living in my house. So, it's out of the question that my wife does anything. She doesn't have to do anything. We have a whole staff, taking care of the needs of the house, for not just for my wife, but for everybody. So, but that's what I'm saying. So if you don't want to help your family or your wife at home, if you don't want to do the domestic duties, men are not domestic. It's not because they love you or they don't love you, or they are proud or they're not proud. It's just not, it's not built into them, or whatever you say. Even the men that don't work, somebody will say, okay, but I am the lady and I'm the one going to work. He's sitting at home and he's still not doing anything. Even when a man is not going to work at all, even if he's not going to somewhere to a battlefield outside, and he's still at home, he's still finding it very rough and very difficult for him to be cleaning the house and be doing all that. That is still not his strength. That is still not the thing he wants to do. But I'm careful to advise the men, especially men in Europe and in America, to make enough money to have a driver, to make enough money to have a maid or to have a gardener. That is not a bad information, but it's difficult for people living in Europe to be able to pay a maid or to be able to pay a gardener or something like that. But you can always resolve that in different ways, right? Maybe not have a full-time maid or full-time gardener or full-time driver, but maybe just to do it, in alliance with some other people to help you do that. But, so that you pay a little bit, that one pays a little bit, and you manage it together. But the idea is that if you don't have the money, then do the job. If you don't have the money to be able to take care of these things and you cannot pay for the service, listen to your wife. Listen to your wife. Obey the lady. You didn't make enough money, so you got to help her out. Listen to her advice. You've got to obey her. You're not making enough money to be able to take care of her. She will not kill herself. She will not be driven crazy because she's also working and she's going in and out and she's too busy. And let her tell you where she needs your help. And Listen. Carry out your duty. If you cannot make enough money to help her, if you cannot provide for all her needs, get to work. Get to work, my dear. Show her you love her. Show her you want to help her. And show her you care for her. Get over the discomfort. Get over the discomfort, my dear. All right. So, I still want to talk to you more about why men don't want to do anything at all. Why men don't want to do anything. Okay, for example, one of my pastors, not just one, a lot of them have come to me. They come to me all the time. I mean, pastors' wives now are coming to me. Pastor's wife coming to me and say, Pastor, he's a good guy, but tell me, Pastor, but he's a pastor. These are pastors' wives, right? They say, but he's a pastor. And I cannot believe what he's doing. I said, what is he doing? He comes back from work and he watches television. Why does he have to watch television when I'm at home? Why does he have to what? I can't get it. And he keeps on telling me he needs it. He needs to be able to watch television or sit on the computer and do some things. And I'm telling him, but you just came from work. I am here. Sit with me. I need you to. Now, but he's supposed to know better. Is he not a pastor? He's supposed to know better. Is he not a spiritual man? Such a spiritual man sitting by television watching football? Or such a spiritual man watching film? Pastor, I don't get it. What is going on? So a lot of my ladies come here to ask me those kind of questions. So, but the reason for that, and let me explain that to you now. How should I help you with this now? It doesn't have to be television. It could be social network. It could be internet. It could be, most of the time it's television or football or newspaper. There is a reason for that, guys. I mean, ladies, there's a reason for that. And the reason is that, like I just told you, the men look at work as a battlefield. It's a place where they have just gone to fight themselves out. They are coming back from war. So when they come back home, they just need one thing. Their whole body and mind is telling them only one thing. And that one thing is relaxation. It's just go and relax, just rest. Now, they could use the word rest, but really it's not rest as if they are tired. So it's not a question of being tired, or it's not a question of resting, physically resting. What they actually need is the need to divert a little bit. They need to be diverted. They need to switch activities. They need to be deflected. They need to be they need to relax, but not like rest, but they just need to do something different. They need to unwind. Yes, that's the right word. They need to unwind. They need to unwind. They need to switch off and unwind. Distress, yes. If there is a word like distress, they need to distress. They just need to remove the stress one way or the other. They need to unwind. unwinding for men sometimes could take just lying down. Sometimes it could take listening. Sometimes, but the most thing that works for men, the fastest way for men to unwind is for them to have images in front of them. Images. So they need images to change. So those images, what it does for them is that it helps them to change the program that is on their mind already. That is, it changes their focus. So they need some action to change their focus, to move the pictures of the stress of their mind into another direction altogether. So especially if this your men or your husband don't drink, if they don't smoke, if they don't drink, they don't smoke, they will need something else to help switch their mind and remove them and make them to quickly forget where they are coming from. And that's why that's why football is very important for them, because it's not about who scores how many goals and all that. It's about movement. In football, there is action. The adrenaline needs to be reawakened. They need to switch the adrenaline to another aspect of it. So boxing or football gives them that level of adrenaline that makes them to switch activities and to be more relaxed. And that's why some men actually look for action films. And women, especially here in my church, women don't like their husband to watch action films. No, women don't call it action films. Women call it horror films, or what they call it. Is it horror films, or films that are action films? Women don't like their husband to watch that. Yeah, they don't want them to watch it. But the reason why the action films, some men watch the action films, is that it helps them to, it changes, it works very fast. It changes their concentration and their image, takes it away faster than just, violent. Okay, women call it violent films. And some people will say, but you are a Christian, why should you be watching those kind of films? For them, it's not about violence. It's not about going to do something violent. It's about, getting themselves switched on and off. And, and then to get the adrenaline thing going. So the other option, which is bad, which is not what Christians are supposed to do, and I want to say this to help the ladies to know why they should understand their husbands. And again, I feel bad talking about this. What I'm about to say now is not a very good thing, rather horrible, but I have to say it. If your husband will not have any opportunity to watch football, or to be on his social network, or to watch those movies, or to do something active, he needs to do something it's just like massage, to massage his mind, his head, to switch his concentration level. If he does not do that, let me tell you the next other option. Because if she doesn't smoke, if he doesn't drink, if he doesn't womanize, then the only other option for that man will be either, it's just one thing, pornography. I'm sorry for that word, and I try to avoid it, but pornography is another thing that does it for the men. And that's horrible. You don't want to push your husband into the arms of pornography. You don't want to push him into the embrace of pornography, because pornography is addictive, and pornography could kill him and it could kill your family. But pornography works well for the man because it helps him, it stimulates his mind, and helps him to change. That it just removes him from whatever mood he was in, and that is bad. That is horrible, especially for the Christian men. But I just have to say it. If I don't say it, you might be wondering why men watch pornography. Because there are two things that work best to relax a man. So that's why sometimes a woman is not ready and a man wants to do sex all the time. Because the reason he's always asking for sex is because the only other thing that helps a man to relax and to unwind faster than television, faster than action films or horror films or whatever you call them, the only other thing that helps a man relax and unwind faster than games, faster than boxing and football and all those things is sex or pornography. And so I think women should understand why men always ask for sex. And let me tell you what, the more engaged a man is mentally, or the more demanding his work is mentally, the more he needs to unwind sexually. And sometimes it's awkward because sometimes it's not the right place, or it's not the right time, or it's just too much. But then he has to find another way to unwind. So if you are not available to offer him sex at any time, then he has to find a different way to unwind. So now, I am coming from Africa. Sometimes we don't understand why our fathers and our African men, why they are having 2 wives, 3 wives, 10 wives, 4 wives. Me being an adult now, you know what? I actually understand better now. I can give explanation for it. So that's why we must talk about these things, and we must be able to see the need of the man in actually, those wives that they are getting is just a way to unwind. So we can actually talk it out, begin to speak about these things openly. How can we unwind, or how can we help the men to unwind without them going to get second wife, third wife, fourth wife, and all that? So, and that's why adultery comes in. That's why, but in Africa, people go to get second wife, third wife, or they go and have a mistress outside. But in Europe, it's even worse. In Europe, people might not have second wife, third wife, but in Europe, everybody has a mistress, or almost everybody, or they are addicted to pornography. So it's the same way. Davida sent me a lady here on our platform. I don't think she's here today. Davida, she sent me a video one day. She sent me this video link last week. And a Nigerian woman was raising a topic about, and she was really very emotional about African men. She's based in Nigeria, but she looks like a white lady to me, or she looks like half caste or white lady. And but she's a Nigerian because she's speaking Yoruba, and So anyway, so this lady was talking about the problem of men that she has come across in Nigeria, that almost all Nigerian, that's the way she came across, that all Nigerian men are, chronic adulterers or multiple polygamists, yeah. Chronic adulterers and multiple polygamists. She's a Christian, born again, and she's talking about born again, not born again. She's talking about men in general in Nigeria that, Nothing is healing them. Nothing is curing them. Why are they so chronic adulterers and whatever, multiple adulterers and chronic polygamists? And that this is a problem, and so many people were calling and writing, responding, because she was doing a live program. So all the men were just saying, yes, this is the way we are. Even these are Christian men. That men are pornographic. Not pornographic, polygamists by nature, which is true. But because we don't talk about these things, we kind of don't understand what is happening. And let me tell you what is happening is that women, you need to know this, and I'm trying to help you. Men understand themselves, all right? But you women need to understand what is happening. And that's why I'm trying to talk about this a little bit. A man does not have to be promiscuous. A man does not have to be a serial polygamist. And a man does not have to be an adulterer. He does not have to. He does not have to. It doesn't have to. Believe me, it doesn't have to. But for him not to is a difficult thing for him. For him not to. In fact, for a man not to be adulterous or polygamist, he either has to have a very strong fear of God, number one, or he has 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 ways that he uses to unwind. Either he has a very big fear of God and is suppressing himself and his nature, or he has 3, 4, 5 ways of unwinding and of relaxing, or of switching himself off, or he has a very matured and very understanding wife. A very mature and very understanding wife that knows the nature of man and that is helping him to unwind and to be restored. To relax and to be restored regularly and easily. So, the reason I'm saying this is because this is not just about a man's character, because some people think this is just a problem of character. Oh, they don't have character. They don't have the fear of God. It's not about character. Let me tell you this. Do you know, I'm telling you ladies this now, do you know that a man's sperm count and sperm bank piles up and fills itself up automatically depending on the situation and stress is going through and everything. So this, either he likes it or not, the sperm bank fills up, and for different people it fills up with different intensity. So it doesn't matter if he doesn't even know what is happening to him. He doesn't even know what's going on. He just knows that his sperm bank is filled up and he needs to unload. He needs to release it. He needs to let it go. So you want to tell me the thing is filled up automatically and he needs to unload, and the wife is not there, or the wife that is not understanding, or the wife that is not even that's not even aware of what's going on. She doesn't understand what's happening to him, and he still needs to release it. He still needs to unload it. He needs to let it go. He needs to release the whole thing. And what should he do? You know what he will do? He will release anyway. You know what he will do? I don't care if he's a bishop. I don't care if he's a GO. I don't care if he's an apostle. I don't care if he's a pastor 100 times. I don't care if he's if he's anointed or if he's not anointed, though, I don't care if he sleeps in church or doesn't sleep in church, or he will have to release. If his sperm bank is filled up, he cannot wait. He cannot wait till evening or till morning or till afternoon, or even if he tries to control it for a few hours or a few minutes, the thing has to come out. The thing has to come out. So it's not about holiness, no holiness. It's pure, it's not pure. The thing about men is this. With women, when a woman has sexual desires, a woman can switch her thought, and because our sexuality is connected to our thought life, because everything is intermingled. So for the woman can just switch the thought to another thing, and the sexuality, thoughts and the sexual desire and drive could cool down a little bit. But for the men don't have that. Men cannot switch off their sexuality. If it's coming and the thing is filled up, and the sperm bank is filled up, okay, where will he throw them? Where will he throw it? Where actually disappear to if the thing is filled up? Where should the thing disappear to? He has to come out. And that is why masturbation is widespread about the men. I mean, the statistic says that 99%, maybe 100% of men have at least for one time or the other in their life masturbated, because they need to let it go. And that's why sexuality is not a matter of choice sometimes for them. It's a matter of necessity. Now, so how do they avoid adultery? What should they do with being polygamous and avoiding it, and being a Christian and living right before God? That is why we are saying either they have to have somebody, a wife that is so understanding, and that's why I'm talking about this, and that is why I'm revealing this to the men, to the women that are here, so that you will know where it's coming from, especially for a man who is physically involved. She has less of the sexual pressure, because when you are working physically, and that might reduce the production of your sperm bank, and the intensity and the level at which it produces, because you are working it out. So the glands of your brain that is responsible for producing your sperm bank is also responsible for sports or for physical activity. So if you are always physically involved and you are always physically engaged, you might have less of that production. But if you are mainly mentally involved and not too much physical, but mentally involved, then that sperm bank produces more and with greater intensity. So that's why people who are successful, who are bosses, directors, millionaires, or people who are very successful, but not just working physically at laborers and mechanics and things, but they have a greater demand sometimes for sexual activities because they need to let it go. So the way to fix it is either they have to be unwinding by getting their mind into something else before the demand presses them to the corner, or before the endorphins. Before the bank is filled up. Before the bank is filled up, they might want to get themselves and their mind and their everything focused, and they must be engaged and involved immersed in something else. That's why they get themselves immersed in sports or in. So they replace that sexual sperm production. They replace it with adrenaline production. So they need to do something that will bring their adrenaline up, and so they're engaged somewhere else. So that could save them. That is on one hand. So, but then if they can come home and be refocused and shift their focus into something engaging, and they cannot watch sports, they cannot be on the internet, they cannot watch a film, and the adrenaline cannot be produced any other way, and that's why they become sometimes they want to go out and release themselves, either through pornography or through masturbation or through another woman and things like that. So these are things that women need to know. And what was the time, by the way? Ooh, you know what? I have about 10 points here. How many points? Yeah, I have about 10 points, and I'm still on one. I'm only finishing one. I'm only on number one. Can you believe it? I'm only on number one. And my time is up already. Well, let's go and share this link. Let's go and share the link. I hope this will be able to help somebody. Let's go. Laura is saying, Prishon, please continue. I should continue. You must finish all the 10 points. Jide Craig said, you must finish all the 10 points. Well. No, let's go and share the. I think you might want to watch this program again. I think you might want to watch this program again. So let's go ahead and share the link. Let's go ahead and share this link. Look under the video, you'll see your share button. Let's go ahead and press that share button and listen to it again. Especially the women might want to listen to this again, so as to know the nature of men that they're living with. And you might want to listen to this again. So let's go share it. Let's go share the link. Let's go share the link for this program. And write some things. You might want to write your comments or your remark. All right. Let me see what you people are writing, okay? Let me see some of your comments here. Omonika said, this is not good at all. I am so angry now about this sex thing. So men unwind mostly with women. Omonika, where are you coming from? What planet have you been living? You don't know? You don't know that men unwind with women? This is 21st century. Wake up. Oh, Monica, don't tell me that you don't know that. Why do you think men marry? You think they marry because of a lot of love or emotions? Of course they want to unwind. Most men, 99% of men marry because they want to unwind. And because they unwind with women. If men had not been in need of sex, they would not have been married in at all. Men would not have married if not for sex. So, Monica, I'm sorry if this breaks your heart. You say you don't like this at all and you are so angry. I'm sorry if this makes you mad. I'm sorry if this makes you angry. But somebody's got to tell you that truth. Someone is got to tell you that truth. Someone has got to tell you the truth. That is just the truth. Men unwind mostly with women. And if women don't know this, they will be denying their husband sex, and they will not know why he wants so much sex. And then, marriage will suffer, relationship will suffer. And Monica said, but this is so really very bad then. It is not funny at all. Well, it's not funny, but you know what? Men also think it's not funny that women don't know this. Men also think it's not funny. Men are actually thinking, so why do women go into marriage? Men actually are thinking that women are like that. A lot of men actually think that women too are going to marriage for sex. They don't know that women have a different set of demands and needs. I wish I could continue this topic. But unfortunately, I wanted to continue from Monday, but I cannot continue because on Monday we have HMT. So I will be transmitting some of the HMT. So it has to be after this week, after the HMT week, that we have to continue. But yeah. But there are so many other things to tell you. There are so many other things to tell you. Men actually think that women are like them. But women are not like them. And I understand Monica. And I think she's sincere. Some people think she's not sincere. I think she's sincere. I think not just Monica is thinking like this. Actually, I think that 90% of the women are thinking like Monica. 90% of the women might not know that men only need women, mainly men need women just to unwind. It sounds like animalistic, I know. It sounds like crude, I know. It sounds like horrible. It sounds so horrible. It sounds inhuman. But you know what? We need to begin to tell each other the truth. TY say, oh, Monica, you see wonder. People are screaming here. But Bidemi is saying, that's a man. Thank you, Pastor, for speaking the raw truth. No mixing of words. No mixing of words. No confusion at all. The men are grateful that I'm saying these things. Gift is saying, so men also have emotion with like women? Not the kind of emotion. The emotion for the women is more like going to their emotions, but for the men, the emotion is released through sex. I'm sorry. I mean, through sex, he releases that emotion, but the woman could release the emotion through tears, through hysterical, through scandal, through talking, through, but men just through sex. Sorry for that. Daniel Oshoma said, no man can overcome temptation by his will. It is impossible. It's only by the grace of God. Shigon Wafo said, this is an eye-opener. Well, I'm sorry if I'm saying some things that you people are not ready for. TY says, oh, then we are so different from the men. Oh, big time difference. Fumilayo Agape says, women, see our life, we stay faithful, but the men, they don't seem to be able to. Well, just because of, I think we have to talk about, one day I will talk about men and women's sexuality. I will need some more time to talk about the difference between men's sexuality and women's sexuality. Dauna Oshinashi Nwashi said, of course, it is important for husband and wife to have a healthy sex life, but it does not excuse cheating and promiscuity. Yeah, it doesn't. Daniel Oshoma said, a lot of men, especially when they cross the age of 40, die in silence. Please, ladies, try to be your husband's best friend. Shigo Nwafo said, thank God you can teach these things freely. Well, somebody's got to talk about them. Ngoya Shari said, yes, it's biology. We should be more knowledgeable in these things. They will save us a lot of headache and worries, especially for the women. Oh, yeah. Agboyo Basi said, for the men, the thing has to come out now. The thing has to come out one way or the other. Shigo is saying, Pastor Egbabio. I didn't know you speak Yoruba, Shigo. Oh, this one is Yoruba. She said, help me, oh, save me. Oluwatoyi said, Pastor, my mom is washing, oh. I think your mom, I think she's matured, so she knows what I'm talking about for sure. Any woman who is lived in marriage for 30 years and over, she knows what I'm talking about. David Blessing say, you know what? The man will release it anyway, either by force or through crook. The man will release the thing one way or the other. Omi Yale Yomi said, Pastor, you are very practical and very spiritual at the same time. Thank you. Agboyo Basi said, even if you are a bishop or you need to release the thing. Precious says, Precious Ogbuere, I love you, Pastor Sunday Adelaja. You are so real. Wow. Laura said, teach us, Pastor. Gladys said, you are too real, sir. Honesty teaching. Jide say, this is physiological makeup of men. It varies from man to man sometimes. Pastor is speaking real biology from a place of understanding. Shigo, you are just phenomenal, she says. Thank you. Shidima said, man, this is eye-opener. Spam bank fills up? Wow. Oh, you don't know spam bank fills up? Oh, if you don't know that, I'm sorry. You're supposed to know. Shigo said, you don't go kill person. Oh. Yeah, Ugo said, that's a need to release pressure for men. Elizabeth Ali, you are so real. Afinike, amazing grace. Bidemi, very phenomenal. Dr. Adelaja is a life coach for real. Ngozi says, thank you, Dr. Adelaja. Can churches add this to their marriage counseling sessions? I don't know. Every pastor has to decide. Ngoya Shari, thanks so much, Pastor. This is amazing. Miranda, wow, Pastor, I love your outspoken nature. God bless you. She Sandra, wow, wow, wow. Knowledge is power. TY, it's just a release. This will help to understand men better. Fleck, and I will send my man to a sports club. Yeah, that will help. That will help. Afiniki said, Pastor said it has to come out. Omonike said, Pastor Sunday Adelaja, you mean that if the wife has gone to work and he sees a mad woman or anything in skirt, they must upload by force? It doesn't have to go to the mad woman. Sometimes it goes to himself, and that's why men masturbate, unfortunately. Yep. Unfortunately, I wish I could tell you no. In fact, I would have liked to tell you no. But sometimes you might be able to control it. But let me tell you the statistics. Maybe 10% of men might be able to control it. 90% of them, they find a way to release it. Now, out of that 90%, I think maybe out of 90%, let's say 60% will release it by themselves through masturbation. But the 20%, they are more daring. They will go and release it somewhere else with the mad woman if necessary. Have you ladies not been hearing of stories when men end up sleeping with their. I mean, can you imagine someone like Schwarzenegger? What's his name? No, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and even men like that. I mean, who was a governor, and when he was a governor of California, a lady came out who is a maid, a Mexican maid who is just cleaning the house and washing after she came out that she was pregnant for him. And a housemaid who is not his standard, his level at all, not educated, nothing. Why is it that men, even rich and wealthy men, they end up impregnating their housemates? And the reason is because, things came on them and they didn't find ways and structures to manage themselves. Or they are used to fulfilling it anyhow they want. So it is these are things that happen on daily basis, and we just think that it's because men are bad, or we think that it's because he is bad, or it's because he's promiscuous. It's just easy. This is just the easy way to say, oh, men are promiscuous, that's why. Oh, men are unbelievers, that's why. But we should also stand out, and be able to talk about these things openly, and be able to find ways to help our men avoid illicit promiscuity, adultery, and not to avoid these things by talking about it, by coming out straight. And discussing it and knowing their nature and being able to help them out. So, so the thing you are saying about the mad woman, that is why. But for me, it's the same thing. If a man who is successful, who is able to afford a maid in the house, is getting the maid pregnant, and that happens in Africa all the time as well. It's not because the maid is their level. It's not because the maid is attractive to them. It's actually not about attractiveness. Most of them are never even attracted to those maids at all. They just need to release, and they are used to finding their needs met one way or the other. And it's just a shame, but it's not because these people are mad or crazy or, it's just because they keep it inside themselves and find the way out. TY says that is why men need sport and physical activity, which is right. Absolutely. Daniel says, so men are always constantly under pressure. If you don't release the sperm as often as possible, it might lead to cancer of the scrotum. Yep, that could happen. Or it might lead to, what they call it. Yeah, that's it. And another thing with the men is that, women, I think I should put this out there for you to know. Do you know what statistics says? Statistics says that every man is exposed to 1 million sexual suggestions in a year. 1 million. Either through what he sees, through his adverts, through books, through television, through internet, through even the people he sees in the street or he walks with just everywhere. 1 million sexual suggestions in a year mean 3,000 sexual suggestions or temptations a day. So men are exposed to 3,000 sexual suggestions a day. 3,000 temptations a day. 3,000 temptations a day. So think about that. Flair Karin says, I will send my man to the spot. I don't want a bulldog at home. Okay. Comfy says, so all men need deliverance. Deliverance? Well, deliverance. Is that deliverance? I think maybe all men need, I don't think I would call it deliverance. I would rather call it self-control, maybe not self-control only, but self-management, self-control, wisdom, self-management, self-control. Is it deliverance? How can you deliver yourself from your flesh? How can you get deliverance from the flesh? How can you get deliverance from your sexuality? Is that deliverance? I think that's an easy way of saying it, deliverance. I think men might need more understanding, women too, but I think men might need understanding, self-control, self-management, and just strategies to be able to manage that rather than deliverance. Deliverance, maybe in some cases there might be need for deliverance, but I don't think that is the number one thing. Okay. Okay, TY is saying it's not deliverance, it is just a release in it. Shigo is saying, now who teach you all these things? Great wisdom. Who taught me? Well, I've been in this business for the past 30 years. Marianne said, this is why a certain religion covers their women from top to toe, because they say they cannot stop themselves if the woman is not covered from head to toe. Well, I hope that will stop it. I hope that will stop it. That can reduce it, but it doesn't really change the man's nature. But because in that same religion, even though women cover themselves from top to toe, that is the same religion where they say take second wife, third wife, fourth wife. TY says he is a man, so he knows mommy difference is. Dr. Adila just says it as it is. That is why he is a class above the rest. Well, thank you. That is. Wonuola said this is holistic psychology here. Obina said that is why some men are dying in silence at home. Wow. Laura says, preach on, Pastor. Jide Craig, Pastor, you must finish all the 10 points. Josephine says, some pastors will get mad from this message because they said they don't feel like having sex. Oh my God. Even some men pastors say they don't have sex. You know what? Maybe you are a woman. They could tell you those stories, but they will not tell another man those stories. Let me tell you that one. They could tell the ladies, they could tell their wives those stories, but they will not tell another man those stories. Do you know that there is a pastor in Nigeria that lost his wife almost at the age of 70. I think the man is, of course, the man is over 70 now, but the wife died probably when he was 70 years old. Can you imagine a man of God? This is a big man of God. Everybody knows him. Big man of God. Big. And he's a man of God that is strong on holiness, purity, holiness. And I was thinking, in fact, even now, I'm thinking if I, God forbid, if I lose my wife now or something that I would like to remain single, I might need to, that's my wish. I would have liked to remain single. But this man, who is a matured man, holiness kind of preacher, very strong, even though he's not at 50, he lost a wife, at almost 70. And you know what? The old man went for another girl. The old man went for another wife. And the reason he went for another wife is because he's not foolish and he's not a kid. He knows his nature and he knows the nature of man, and he doesn't want to play games with himself. He doesn't want to deceive himself, and he doesn't want to live in secret sin. He doesn't want to live in secret sin. So he went to get another wife even at 70 years old. He would rather get another wife and, get his needs fulfilled and his needs met than be saying, well, I will just remain a single man, and then he's doing all kind of things under the blanket. Gift Amos says, what man take God out of their lives is then they will be looking for. When man takes God out of their lives, then they will be looking for sex, for feelings of sex, drink, pornography, all sorts of things. But all those alternatives are still temporary. It's only the Holy Spirit that can fill up our inner man. Yep. You know. But it's not as easy as that when it comes to sexuality for the men. It doesn't matter how much Holy Spirit you have. Just like this case I'm talking now about this man. This man of God. The man is having Holy Spirit, believe me. This man is full of the Holy Spirit, but men are men. Men are men. Let me just tell you that one. Miranda says, in my entire life, I've never seen a teacher like you. You are so wonderful. God is using you to remove some of us from modern day church slavery. Thank you. Sandra, Dr. Dilaja is a great teacher. Is a great teacher in his own class. Oh, thank you. Agboyo Basis said they engage in some type of activity that helps give the rush of adrenaline, and they feel good after the rush, which equates to the feeling of satisfaction from sex. Yes, that's why sports helps them to be able to manage that, and anything that will make them to get the adrenaline, up. And that's why sometimes they used to watch the sports or action movies and things like that. Elizabeth said, Pastor, please, we need all the points. Boniface says, this message is damn bomb. You see how excited the men are. Now, Omonike is saying, that's why men have women all over the place. It's better a woman stays unmarried than imagine this. A woman is not enough for a man. Then, Pastor Sunday, what is that? A woman could be enough. A woman could be enough, but she just has to, understand this. She a man. She just has to, build a good relationship with the man and help the man out. Adiola said, this is a very rare teaching. Kenny said, please, Pastor, continue with all the points. I've been hearing that so many people are saying that. I'll continue tomorrow, I guess, tomorrow morning. Eric says, sir, you teach on every aspect of human life. You are just too much. Where do you get all this wisdom from? Thank you very much. Where do I get all the wisdom from? Mabel say, wow, what an eye-opener message for women. Always frustrated by their husbands, but now we understand. Thank God. Evangelist Moji said, thanks, Pastor, for this truth teaching. It will help the kingdom of God. Praying for more grace and anointing. Another person said, Pastor, how can a born-again single overcome all the temptation then as a man? Well, we have to talk about that one day. Laura says, Pastor, to be honest with you, most women don't even know these things you are saying. Wow. Then your men are suffering. Abo said, they said, this topic is superb. More grace, sir. Amos says, this is a very rare topic among the believers especially. Sandra said, please, everybody is saying, please continue. Ayodele, Pastor, you are very sincere and full of knowledge. I respect you. Thank you. Goya Sharis, loving this, Pastor. Thank you for touching on biology, psychology, biblical truth, and emotional intelligence. You are so wise and knowledgeable. It's amazing. If we just understood each other's nature better, there will be less sorrow in families and marriages. We will make it better and learn from you, sir. Thanks so much. I pray for more blessings on your life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She-God, never seen or heard anyone speak these things like this. Big ups to you. This has been insightful. In fact, all the GOs need to hear and preach these truths rightly. There has been a veil put over them. Work about they are not. They come across as if they are not human, causing people under them to live under impotence. God help us. If your message, every woman needs to listen to this important message. Shidi Master, thank you for this enlightenment. I have more understanding now. Miranda, your teachings are so wonderful. God help us. Muyanga said women were in trouble. You are not in trouble. You just need understanding. That's all. Well. So many comments, so I have to go. I've got to go now. Wow. So many things you are writing. I've got to read all these things later. I will read all these things later. Okay, well, because the time is gone. So thank you so much for your time. It was nice being with you. Talk to you tonight. Tonight we'll have some testimony time. And then tomorrow morning, I will continue with this teaching. And then next week we'll see how things go. So thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.